Power Deep portion of our compensation system pays you on your group efforts as far as 12 levels plus compression. Now, you may have already seen how some people build faster and deeper than others, sometimes causing that particular line to grow straight down and quickly adding new people beyond the reach of your commissions. Well, that's okay if you have other people building too, but to help maximize the amount of purchasing activity within your 12 levels, we require that no more than 80% of the group volume requirement for your rank is generated in a single line. As your team grows, Trivani looks at 3 specific activities to determine your rank, and your rank determines how many levels of Power Deep Trivani will pay you. The first is, how many personally enrolled child guardians do you have on your first level? The second, what is your total group volume, or how much purchasing activity is happening in your entire team? And third, how is your total group volume distributed, which is our 20% rule? As I mentioned, Trivani's 20% rule says that no more than 80% of the group volume requirement for your current rank is accomplished by a single line. Let's use the rank of Master as an example, and remember the 3 activities we look for. In this case, Masters must have personally enrolled 6 child guardians onto their first level and have a total group volume of 60,000 or greater. Additionally, and here's where the 20% rule comes into play, they must have at least 12,000 of that coming from outside their largest line. Here's a simplified example of how that would look. John could have enrolled Sue and Mike each as child guardians. If Sue's group volume was 48,000 and Mike's was 12,000, then John would be qualified as a master. Here's another example. John could have enrolled 6 of his closest friends as child guardians, each of them building their own groups to 10,000. In this scenario, John would still qualify as a master because no more than 80% of the group volume requirement for master came from any one line. Here's an easy way to track this. Simply look up the group volume requirement for the rank you expect to earn, then multiply that by 20%. This will give you the total amount of group volume you'll ever need to generate outside of any single line. Let's use the rank of Mentor as an example. Mentors require 30,000 total group volume. If we multiply that number by 20%, we get 6,000. So mentors will only ever need 6,000 group volume outside any one leg to be fully qualified as a mentor for Power Deep earnings. It's important to remember that the 20% rule is a measurement of the group volume requirement for a particular rank, not your total group volume. Here's what I mean. If you have 70,000 group volume and you have your 6 front-level child guardians, then you would still only need 12,000 group volume outside your largest line, not 14,000, because Trivani is looking at the group volume requirement for a particular rank, not 20% of your total group volume. Here's a question I get asked often relating to the 20% rule. What if I have 60,000 group volume in one line and only 6,000 outside that line? Well, to answer that, all we do is look up the sum total of group volume outside that person's largest line. In this case, it's 6,000. And ask, 6,000 is 20% of which rank's group volume requirement? Well, 6,000 is 20% of 30,000, which is the group volume requirement for mentor. So this person would be paid as a mentor. Now remember too, this rule is a built-in insurance policy that helps you keep more of your group's activity within your 12 levels. It promotes width, stability, and strength in your group. I encourage you to have a closer look at our compensation plan flyer, then re-watch this video. If I still haven't answered your questions about Trivani's 20% rule, then please call our customer support team. We'd love to hear from you.